Well, this movie just landed on Hulu, and I finally got a chance to check it out earlier today. And after hearing all of the hype surrounding this movie, I, for one, was ecstatic to finally get a chance to watch it. And let's talk about it. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I hope you guys are all doing well, and welcome back to yet another brand new movie review. And as always, I thank you all so much for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy your stay. But this time around, we're looking at Nomadland, yet another one that's getting tons of Oscar buzz right now. This one, of course, was directed by Chloe Zhao, who will also be helming Eternals as part of the Marvel Studios Phase 4, and it stars the legendary Frances McDormand as a woman named Fern, who embarks on a journey through the American West after losing everything during the recession. So I'm just gonna cut right to the chase, guys. Every single positive praise you've heard about Nomadland is 100% true. I thought this movie was absolutely fantastic. It is certainly quite the achievement. I thought it was also a really fascinating film to watch in a bevy of ways. And that's mainly because Nomadland doesn't necessarily feel like a narrative drama. Director Chloe Zhao never really oversteps any boundaries in telling a story here. Even though this is a fictionalized retelling, she almost approaches this movie like a documentary. And I don't just mean that in the way the movie is shot, which is absolutely staggering, might I add. This cinematography is in fact some of the best I've seen in the past year, truly capturing the beauty of the so-called middle of nowhere. I mean, just take a look at how vast some of these shots are when you actually sit down and check it out. I think it's really quite amazing what the filmmakers were able to accomplish with the camera here. But getting back to my point, Chloe Zhao never really forces the audience to feel a certain way about these characters. You won't find any emotional trigger that she's shoving down our throats. This isn't getting too deep into spoilers in my mind, but there's no big, bad, evil business guy who's trying to make these people's lives a living hell. This movie's not like that at all. Chloe Zhao is simply just showing us who these people are and how they're living their lives. And you know what? That's a very simple method of filmmaking that we honestly don't see that much of anymore. And I thought it was extremely effective. And I personally think that Chloe Zhao has cemented herself as the next big thing in Hollywood. And I'm so happy to see that she's such a sought-after director right now and completely filling up her schedule. Because I, for one, am there day one. Anytime she has a new movie coming out, you can bet that I want to check it out first thing. And that includes Eternals. I honestly think that with her at the helm, Eternals has the potential to be one of the best Marvel movies yet. One of the reasons that I think Zhao is so great is that she's able to get so much out of her performers also, and most of whom are playing fictionalized versions of themselves, which they did excellently, might I add. I thought this was a really neat touch that truly brought a lot more realism to the film than it would have felt like had she cast big A-list stars across the board. Now, speaking of performers, while I'm on that topic, I gotta talk about Frances McDormand, who honestly at this point I don't really think needs any introduction because she's Frances McDormand. I mean, she already has an Oscar win under her belt for her turn in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which I personally think was her best. With this performance, she definitely has all the potential in the world to at least secure a nomination from the Academy, at the bare minimum, because this was a very different turn from her than I'm used to. It's a very quiet and subtle performance, but it feels so freaking real. I mean, it's Frances McDormand, so this shouldn't be too much of a surprise, but she was absolutely fantastic. She's in the frame for about 95% of this movie, and her poise, her character, never once wavers. Don't be surprised if the Academy recognizes her very soon. I mean, Nomadland is everything you've heard about and more. I definitely think it is a very interesting watch, one of the top films of this past year for sure. I only really have 2 issues with this film, and it's really nitpicking at this point. First of all, I'm not sure this movie is as rewatchable as most people think it is. Even though I just used the word interesting to describe it, there are points where the movie can feel really, really long, and it only clocks in at an hour 45. And also, I gotta talk about this ending. Like, I got it, but I was kind of looking for a little bit more. It's like I was enjoying watching what these characters were doing and seeing how they were living their lives. I was really fascinated to learn even more about these people, and then it just kind of ends. Like, all of a sudden, the credits just slam into view, and I'm like, aww. Besides that, Nomadland, I think, is an incredibly fascinating feature. It really does cement Chloe Zhao as one of the next greats behind the camera, and it gives us yet another iconic performance from its starring actress. And I also think this is a very important movie right now because I think it's the perfect metaphor to represent the last year or so. At least for me. I can't speak for everybody, but here's the thing, guys. When January 1st, 2020 hit, I was quite the busy bee. And then the pandemic hit, and in that respect, pretty much put my life on pause. And honestly, last year was not only a time for me to adapt and explore other avenues of my passions, kind of like this beautiful community we've created together, but I felt like it was also a time for us to focus on the more simple things in life. And I think in many respects, Nomadland captures the beauty of those very simple things. I think this movie's great. I'm gonna give it an A-. Definitely worthy of all the accolades it's received up to this point, and don't be shocked if it gets any more. But this is just one guy's opinion though. What did you guys think of Nomadland? Do you agree with me? Do you not? How many Oscar nominations do you see this film taking home? Sound off on all those thoughts and then some all down there in the comments, and let's discuss cinema and all things entertainment further. Because I love it. I love what I do here with you guys. And if these topics sound like things you'd like to discuss, if you guys are enjoying my videos up to this point, this channel might be the one for you. So if you guys are new here, or if you haven't already, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can, because you beautiful subscribers will in fact be the first ones to know anytime a new upload hits my channel, and it's also free. And yeah, also, if you guys liked this video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up on your way out. I'd really appreciate that. And as always, look out for more exciting content hitting this channel very, very soon. You guys are awesome. With all that being said, back talk, commence!